The story of Lytuky, a young girl who went missing and was found in a tragic condition, with amnesia and one blind eye. But an elderly couple living on the mountain opened their hearts to care for her, helping her regain her faith in life. Will she recover, remember her past, and seek justice? Lytuky, a beautiful young girl, was kidnapped and disappeared for several months. When she was found, she was no longer the bright, lively girl she once was. Her body was frail, covered in scars, and one of her eyes was blind. Not only had she lost her memory, but she also didn't recognize her biological mother. However, luck smiled on her when an elderly couple living in the mountains accidentally discovered her and saved her life. They cared for Lytuky like their own daughter, never asking about her past but giving her a new name, helping her recover both physically and mentally. Despite her painful past, Lytuky began to heal gradually, thanks to their love and care. The authorities are also tirelessly investigating, hoping to bring the perpetrator to justice and restore justice for her. Lytuky's journey to recovery is not easy, but there is still a glimmer of hope, offering a brighter future for the young girl. If you find this story touching and inspiring, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to follow more heartfelt and hopeful stories. In life, there are moments when we face challenges that seem impossible to overcome. And sometimes, in those moments of despair, an unexpected light shines, not from grand acts, but from simple, loving gestures. This is the story of Lytuky, a young girl saved from a life-threatening situation, and how a humble couple living in the mountains became a miraculous light in her world of pain. After disappearing for an extended period, Lytuky was found in a state of near death, weak, emaciated, and without any identification. For days, hope had dwindled, and both her family and the community believed she had not survived. But then, a miracle occurred. In the deep forest, an elderly couple living alone in the high mountains happened to discover her. Without hesitation or fear, the elderly couple took her to their modest wooden house. From the moment they found her, they didn't ask who she was, where she came from, or why she was in such a condition. To them, she was simply a life that needed saving. They accepted her without question, as one would a family member, and never thought of rewards or recognition. The strange girl became part of their life, and taking care of her was simply something they felt was their duty as human beings. This elderly couple lived in a simple wooden house, surrounded only by the wind of the mountains and the songs of birds. Their life was modest, poor even, but full of love. Though they had little in material wealth, the love and care they showed to Lytuky became the medicine that healed not only her physical wounds but also the scars in her soul. Every day, they attended to her wounds, from small scratches to deep emotional traumas. Every meal and every nap were given with the same love they would offer to their own children. Because they did not know her real name, the couple gave her the name Lytuky, a new name for a new life, a fresh start from a past filled with pain. From then on, Lytuky slowly began to regain her strength. Although she couldn't remember anything about her past or who she was, The love and care from the couple helped her overcome the pain of loss and find a sense of belonging again. There were no grand gestures, no need for words of gratitude, just quiet acts of kindness. The humanity of this elderly couple was not loud or grandiose, it was simply woven through their daily actions, in the gentle touch of their hands, in the care they gave. They didn't ask who Lytuky was, didn't inquire about why she had been abandoned, nor did they expect any recognition. To them, helping her was as natural as tending to a garden or feeding an animal. Their kindness was the most precious gift they could give her, and it became the only light in her life at that time. Life in the high mountains was simple, yet for Lytuky, it was where she found peace after years of wandering in the darkness. The name Lytuky that the couple gave her was not just a name, but a symbol of new beginnings, of renewed hope, of a life she never expected to have after being shattered by her painful past. While the world outside may be full of competition, selfishness, and harm, the humanity of the elderly couple in the mountains is a stark contrast. It is a clear example of kindness, sharing, and compassion. They are a beacon of light, cutting through the fog of life's storms. They did not seek recognition, but their love and care for Lytuky became a powerful light, bringing her back to life and helping her regain faith in the world. This story is a testament to humanity, to resilience in the face of adversity, and to the quiet but powerful light that can exist even in the darkest times. It teaches us that no matter how harsh life may be, as long as there is kindness and sharing, all wounds can eventually heal. And when the human heart is open enough, miracles will happen, like a tiny light in the darkness, chasing away sorrow and bringing us back to hope. When Lytuky was finally found, no one could hold back their emotions. In front of everyone was no longer the bright, lively young woman they once knew, but a frail, wasted body, like a leaf caught in a storm. Her face was covered with injuries, pale and gaunt. Even more heartbreaking, one of her eyes was blind, and the other was wide open but lifeless, unable to recognize anyone, even her own mother, who was crying uncontrollably in front of her. Lytuky's trauma was not just physical, it was a deep wound within her soul. She was terrified of everything, panicked, and had lost all memory. The moment of reunion between mother and daughter, which should have been the most emotional moment, became one of the greatest pains for the mother, as her own daughter looked at her like a stranger. The memories of family, love, and a warm childhood had vanished without a trace, leaving behind a girl who was completely empty, lost in her own world. Who could have done this to such a lovely young woman? Who took away her youth, her memories, and even the light from her eyes? The answer was still being sought. But one thing was certain, anyone who witnessed that moment could not hold back their tears. It was an image not only heartbreaking but also one that made people reflect deeply on the cruelty that still exists in this world. After being found in a state of near death, Lytuky was cared for by an elderly couple who lived high in the mountains. They did not ask about her past. They only knew that a life needed to be saved and cared for. Despite their poverty, living in a simple wooden house, their hearts were open, compassionate, and full of love. They did not hesitate, did not question who she was, they just did everything they could to save her. They fed her, gave her rest, treated her wounds, and healed her with traditional medicine. Both the husband and wife treated her like their own daughter. They named her Lytuky, giving her a new name as a fresh start, even though her life had already suffered so much pain. To them, she was a being that needed protection, a life to cherish just like any other child. In every meal, in every sleep, Lytuky felt the love and warmth of this elderly couple. Although she had lost her memories, Lytuky gradually began to feel the warmth of human kindness. Slowly, in the comfort of the elderly couple, she began to find peace within herself once again. However, the dark past still haunted her. The memories of everything she had endured during her disappearance remained as scars that couldn't be erased. Yet, perhaps the most important thing was that, despite all the loss and tremendous pain, she was still receiving care and love. The wounds on her body would heal over time, but the scars in her soul, the deep pain in her memories, would likely take many years to heal. When seen, Lytuky was not just a pitiful girl, she was a symbol of resilience, of starting over after unimaginable trauma. Although she could not reclaim what had been lost, there was still light in her lifeless eyes, the light of hope, the love she had received, and a future she could still dream of. After Lytuky was found and brought back to the home of the elderly couple on the mountain, her tragic story began to spread, catching the attention of both the community and the authorities. While she had been cared for and sheltered, her life was still full of wounds that hadn't healed. More than ever, she needed help from the authorities and those around her to rediscover her past and confront the perpetrators who had committed such a brutal crime against her. As the months passed, the local authorities intensified their support. The police began an investigation, determined to uncover the truth about what had happened to Lytuky. They first gathered information from her family and those who knew her. Each piece of the puzzle about Lytuky's past was a vital clue in their quest for justice. The police worked tirelessly, not only to bring the criminals to light but also to help her recover the memories that had been stolen from her. During this time, Lytuky's mother, overwhelmed by unbearable grief, never stopped hoping that one day her daughter would remember everything. She tried everything she could to help Lytuky recover her memories, from bringing her to meet old acquaintances to recreating the family's former living environment. Even though her memories had faded, her mother continuously encouraged her, igniting the hope that one day the past would return, and the light of those memories would shine again. Every time Lytuky vaguely recalled something, no matter how small, her mother's heart ached. These brief moments, though fleeting, made the family believe that hope had not yet vanished. Those faint sparks were the first signs that her past was slowly returning. Though her eyes no longer shone, Lytuky could still find a glimmer of light in her soul, thanks to the love and care she received from her family and the authorities. However, the battle was not just about restoring her memory. The people responsible for the cruel acts against Lytuky had not yet been brought to justice. Everyone longed for justice to be served, but they also understood that the journey would not be easy. The police began collecting evidence, from testimonies of those around her to traces of her past, to identify the perpetrators. The authorities were committed to uncovering every secret behind her disappearance. The pain of the crime was not just physical but also deeply psychological. For Lytuky, justice was not only about bringing the wrongdoers to light but also about reclaiming her sense of self. She needed to heal from the wounds on her body, but she also had to recover the memories that had been stolen from her and find herself again in a world full of faint memories. Although the fight for justice was long, with the unwavering love of her family and the determination of the authorities, Lytuky continued to hold on to a powerful hope. She hoped that one day, she would be able to live a complete life, free from the shadows of the past. She looked forward to the day when those responsible for the crime would be punished, and she could start anew, in a life full of light and love. Even though everything was still unclear, hope remained, a hope that would never fade, like a dim light in the darkness. The story of Lytuky is both heart-wrenching and inspiring. It is a reminder of the incredible resilience of the human spirit, even in the face of extreme trauma. The image of a young girl, once full of life, found in such a tragic state, with physical and emotional scars, is deeply moving. Yet, her journey towards healing, aided by the unconditional love and care of the elderly couple, shows that kindness and empathy have the power to heal even the most broken souls. What stands out is not just the cruelty she endured, but the profound impact that selfless acts of kindness can have. The elderly couple, who took her in without asking questions, gave her the hope and warmth she needed to begin recovering. It's a powerful reminder that in this world, amidst the pain and suffering, there is still humanity, and that the simple act of showing love and care can make all the difference in someone's life. Lytuky's story is a call to never lose hope, to always believe in the possibility of recovery and justice. It teaches us the importance of compassion and reminds us that we can all play a role in helping others heal.